Okay guys, so for the next bit we will do some customization of the app. If you wish, you could just make it more your style or what you believe that users might want for their application. So, if you wish, we can customize the color of these buttons here by coming over here and clicking on the folder, the document style, sorry, and then coming down to tint. From there, you can then fiddle with the colors. You could make it, for example, a light green, a dark blue, and this should update as you go through. So maybe something sort of a bit more a natural green, sort of like the Udemy green, I guess. You could sort of bring it around to whatever color that you wish to have, and you can change the opacity as well, which is how visible it is. So you'd probably want that on 100. So once you've chosen your color, you could also come here, select off these, select off this, or do the crayons and select the color through here. So once you've done that, you may want to move the input bar where the person types their text up higher or lower depending on what you wish. These blue lines that are showing up are grid lines, which you can use to line up the input bar how you want it. So you could also make it smaller, stretch it out, and those grid lines will appear. So we'll want to keep it generally wide because it is universal, so that way it won't look funny on the iPad. So now that that is done, we can customize other areas of it, which I'll show you in the next video. Okay guys, so welcome back. So we just taking off from the last lesson. To customize, you can also customize the background layout if you wish. Just head over to the shield looking one up the top here. You could make it a grey, a green, whatever you wish to choose. Maybe a light grey might be sort of natural feeling. You can also edit the button color as well. A background, you could make it a light green, for example, a blue, whatever color you wish. And if you do ever get stuck, you can just hit Command Z to work backwards. So you can also add this. You could go add, instead of item, to do. And you could also customize the category. So this is the checklist. You could rename that to your checklist, for example. And categories, you could say enter new category or your categories, whatever you wish to have. So that is it for this lecture. Okay guys, so in this lecture we'll be going over how to modify your app icons and general basic customization of the checklist app. So as you can see here, if you have your Xcode open with your app inside, you can see that the device is universal. So what this means is that it can be used both by iPad and all iPhones. For example, if you only wish to use iPhone, feel free. And if you only want it to be on the iPad, then feel free to do that. but we'll just be leaving it at universal for the moment, and you can update that. Also here you can update your bundle identifier, which is in iTunes Connect that we created, your app ID for example, so it will be a reverse domain, so com.rees reamers, or it isn't long enough, reamers, oh it's just lagging, dot checklist. So you can customize that now. Also you can come over to info and you can edit the executable name, so this could be checklists for example, or to do, or whatever you want to call it, and that will show up on your simulator or when someone downloads this file on their phone. I'm sure you have Facebook or Twitter. It is the name that sits underneath the app. Okay guys, now that we've made it this far, we want to customize our app icon. I will be putting up some resources with a text link to Dropbox for some files that you will be able to download. And you will want to expand the checklist menu at the top left and come down to images and cassettes. You will want to then go to app icon, and you can see here we already have one in there. However, the dimensions for the 2 times is 120 by 120 and the 3 times is 180 by 180. So you can either Google search those like I've showed you in the previous lecture to get royalty-free images that you can use in your app, or you can go to Photoshop. These you could just go Command N to create a new and make this 120 by 120 or 180 by 180. However, this is the 120 by 120 and this other one is the 180 by 180. So we can customize the background by clicking on here, and then you can choose what color you would like to make your app icon. Also, you could go to Fiverr.com and have someone make it there for you for $5 if you wish. However, you do not need to spend money at all. So we might go for this nice green, and we might paint that green, and same for the 120, sorry. And then if you download these image files that I've linked, you should be able to grab and drag it in to fit. So there are a few. You can either choose that one, you can come over here and choose this one. If you're scaling it, you'll want to make sure that it's linked so that you don't get a wobbly whoop app icon. You could make it something like that, or failing that, if you wish, you could paint this green again, and you could select the paintbrush, make it a bit thinner, a little bit thinner again, and we could make this color white, and you could place your own sort of tick on here, or you could put text if you wish. You can't see that, but you can customize it however you want. Sorry, the paint tool is what we want. We will want to make that green again, and we'll make that bigger, and we will color over the top and color over the top, and we will bring in maybe this one and make sure that it is checked up here to link the height and the dimensions, and we will bring that one in again and hit enter. So now you will want to save it, and we can save it. You'll want to make sure that it's a PNG, and untitled 2, this is the 120 by 120 pixels, so we'll call that accordingly, 120 by 120. As you can see, I already have a previous one here. If you don't wish to type it, you can click it to rename it, which I will show you on the next one. Command-Shift-S for a quick save as, and you can click PNG and then click on the 180 by 180 to save typing. That's if you already have images. So we will hit save and replace. Because these are in Xcode, we will then hit import 120 by 120 and go open. We will drag that on top, and we will hit import and the 180 by 180, and we will drag that there. So now when we run it, it should be able to show up as a tick on the simulator. So as you can see very fastly, if we hit Command-Shift-H on the simulator to go home, and there is our app icon. I'll see you guys in the next lecture. Okay guys, welcome back. So if you have an issue with your app saying you don't have permission to open it, what you need to do is click on checklist up the top, come down to checklist tests, and make sure that your executable file name here is the same as your other app here. If they're different, you might receive that error message, and that is how to fix it. So now, we will go to the storyboard. However, there are other view controllers that you can customize. So for this one, we did the other one, for example, with a grey. Maybe we do this one a pink for the background. So now you want to make sure that the app still works, and we can hit run on the top left over here, and it has come up with build succeeded, which is what we want. So it will open up the app. We have categories, and then as you see here in the back, the add category is pink, and it should be when we go to add a new one, which it is. So we can add a new category saying well done and hit save. Then from that we can add a new task, which is the grey, which we had. You can customize this however you want, make our app, and we can save that, and we can hit done. And if the person wishes to get rid of it, they can hit delete and come back to it. So if you're still on the simulator, you can hit Command-Shift-H to come home, and you can see here the name is as we wrote it on the iOS in Xcode. So that works well. See you in the next lecture.